with?
Evan Parks. I am your man aus California, student at the Conservatorium Klagenfurt, student at Alpen Adria Universität. Yeah, just an overall G. That's who I am.
The OOG from America. Nice.
Yeah.
What is a guy from America doing here?
Super long story. My mom originally comes from Klagenfurt, yeah. So because of that, I got the Doppelstaatsbürgerschaft, which is just a dual citizenship. Then after high school, I decided I wanted to come to Europe for a year, kind of travel around, do music on the side, but like most just like enjoy myself while I was still young. Overall, after that year had been finished, I decided I really liked it here. The study I found was really good and obviously really cheap. And I also had made like a good amount of friends, had a job. It was just a good experience, so I decided to stay. And yeah, since then I've been here for 2 years.
Nice. And how long you will stay?
Yeah, it depends. I want to finish my studies, obviously, get my bachelor degree, and then we'll see. Either move on somewhere in Europe and just progress my music career, or I don't know, go back to the States and finish my studies or master's there.
Okay, you said like to follow your musical path. Do you have like an instrument you're concentrating on?
Yeah, so my main instrument's clarinet, right? So I've been playing that for like 10 years now, quite a while. And eventually I'd like to use that to get into an orchestra, and then from there eventually be like a director or something like that. But we'll see.
If like I ask people, okay, if you want to learn an instrument, which instrument you want to learn, then most of people say I want to learn guitar or piano.
Yeah.
So why you said I want to learn especially the clarinet?
Yeah, because clarinet for one, super sexy, right? you look at SpongeBob, you see Squidward, that dude played clarinet, that dude's a fucking G. I was like, I need to be this guy. No, my story's pretty dumb actually. I was in middle school band, right? So the first year of middle school band, and the teacher had asked us what we wanted to do, like what instrument we wanted to choose. And at the time, I was really into this girl, like, right? So we were there. She was sitting next to me in class, and that was the day that we were gonna choose instruments. And so she raised her hand. She was like, I don't know, I really want to play clarinet. And so obviously me being dumb, I was like, oh, I want to play clarinet too. And so obviously I chose clarinet then when she chose it. 2 weeks later, she actually quit band entirely, and so I was just stuck on the clarinet. Fortunately though, I like enjoyed it, and like I progressed pretty fast, and so I stayed with it, right? But that's actually the story why I chose it.
Every time about the girls.
Yeah, dude. It's the life, the hard life. My name is Evan and I'm chilling over here in the crib. I never know if I'ma do it really good like the did, ayy. And what you saying, I'ma do it like a whiz. You know what, I'm going hard, you know what, I am the whiz of the master fucking mind. Going hard all the time, you know what, I'm on my grind, living life. I'm going hard, doing it fucking right. And I say right now, my nigga, you ain't fucking tight, ain't cool, ain't shit, ain't nothing to fuck with. You know I'm going hard cause I'm something to fuck with.
It means like, okay, you study classical music. You interested in any other music?
Yeah, so I think probably the amount of time I put into classical music, I also put into hip-hop music, right? So about 1.5 years now, a friend of mine, we started a little project, right? So we make hip-hop music pretty regularly, and like we had our first EP out, we had 2 professional quality music videos, and we just do that.
So if someone is listening to these mixtapes, I think they will recognize you rapping on it. So what was the reason why you were interested in learn how to rap and also perform?
Yeah, so right around the time I started clarinet was also right around the time I started listening to a lot of hip-hop music, coincidentally, right? So I would be going to school just listening to like old school Eminem, 50 Cent, just like all of the the main guys of hip-hop, right? Like the mainstream. So listening to that, enjoyed it, would always memorize the text, and I liked it a lot. And throughout high school, I also would go with friends, and like we would have like small little rap battles. And like, of course, like that was really fun for me because then I could like showcase a little bit of talent. It's like really cool. And then when I came here and I met you, obviously, then we had like the actual means to start recording and start making beats. And so like the whole like fantasy that I'd created in high school, like, oh, I want to be a rapper, oh, but I don't have the equipment, finally actualized, like it became real, you know?
Yeah, if you talk with people here in Austria compared to the United States about hip-hop, you see like differences?
Yeah, of course in America there's like a hip hop is a huge scene, right? So everyone listens to hip hop, everyone listens to trap, every party has obviously hip hop music, whereas here the main genre for parties per se would be like house or EDM. And so when I talk to people about hip hop here, yeah, they understand it, but it's kind of in more of like a foreign place. Like they have heard of hip hop, but they don't know like actual things about it or actual artists. They just know let's say mainstream things. And so for me, like, it's a good opportunity for me to like introduce it to them, to show them like, hey, this is like the culture that so many people in America enjoy, and blah blah blah. The number one MC over here, rapping super cool, and I'm drinking Punti Gamma beer, yeah, represent Klagenfurt. I'm coming hard and my nigga came up from the dirt. You know what, I'm going hard, going motherfucking cool, yeah. And I'ma do it while the same time at the school, like playing clarinet on the fucking side, going hard, getting girls on my, and they ride, and I'm never gonna curse all the time, cause I say this shit, and one more time, do it fine, yeah. Look here, this is a freestyle session.
So you have like artists you look up to?
Yeah, of course, yeah. I look up to myself.
To yourself,
That's
okay.
the number one. No, when I started really getting into hip hop, probably my number one would be Kendrick Lamar. That dude was just lyrically number one. I still respect it a lot, respect him a lot. As I started getting more into the culture, I started listening to people like Outkast or Tribe Called Quest, and those guys really just brought like the musical side out, and so I respected that also, and I looked up to that.
Okay, and I know like hip hop is a huge genre. Also, like there's trap hip hop, lo-fi hip hop, and
Yeah.
a lot of subcultures you also showed me. I have to say.
Yeah.
So you have like one you prefer?
It's tough. So when I'm writing lyrics, right, I prefer generally lo-fi hip-hop. It's just a chill vibe. You're in like your own space when you listen to it, and there's a lot of room to like express yourself just because it's really minimalistic in the production value. So I like that a lot. If I'm partying, of course, I like trap. More like just like brrr, skirt, just stuff that you can like vocalize to, that you can follow very easily. And then like if I just want like a standard hip hop, I'll listen to like Kendrick Lamar or like, I don't know, just Tribe Called Quest, just like quality. This is off the top of the fucking mind. You know what, I do it hard and I never commit a crime. Yeah, young money, kush swag, never mess around. No, my raps are never even bad. Yeah, I'm going hard and I think this in my mind. Yeah. I'm in my mental, and I do it just like a dental.
So you write your lyrics on your own, or?
Of course.
Of course.
Yeah, why not?
So are you the guy who is like more focusing, okay, the beat has to be good, has to be right?
Yeah.
Or you're like, no, for me it's like more important that the lyrics tell a story. What is like your...
Yeah, I find that a little taboo that a lot of people say that. I think it needs to be equal. So you need to treat the beat equally as you do the lyrics, right? I hate it when like the lyrics can be amazing, right? As I saw in, for example, Kendrick Lamar's new album, lyrics fantastic. For me, however, the beats weren't there, and so I couldn't appreciate the project overall. So like for when I produce stuff or when we produce stuff, I want the beat to be equal to the lyrics, right? I want both of them to have quality, so people that like the beats can listen to it, people that like the lyrics can listen to it, and it comes and just like blends masterfully.
If you can take some instruments or sounds, how should your perfect hip hop beat build up, arrange? What is it like?
Well, for one, I like a lot of ambience, right, in the beat. So like just a lot of atmospherical sounds. I like a lot when, for example, in a lo-fi beat, in the background there'll be like little rain droplets coming down. That just sounds really nice. Then obviously I want a straightforward just drum kit, right, so that you can follow the entire time. Pretty simple pattern. And then other than that, obviously live instruments fit great normally on beats. Jazz instruments, so like tenor saxophone or soprano saxophone fit usually great on beats, and I like this a lot. Yeah, and that's what Kendrick Lamar, for example, does.
And Kendrick Lamar is performing a lot. You have like performed before somewhere?
Yeah, so in high school, I had to organize a concert. That was one of the tasks that we had in high school in our band class, was to organize a concert, right? And so part of this concert, I did half classical, and the other part was half rap. And so I played my clarinet. My friends and I got together, we did our stuff. And then at the end, we all switched that and put it into hip hop. And so it was a pretty great concert. And so that's when I started performing, right around the end of high school. Recently, I haven't had the opportunity, per se, to perform in Klagenfurt, mostly because either I'd be studying, I'd be busy, or there weren't any venues to perform. But I do, however, want to start doing that more often. There's a in the city center they have a open mic, right? And so it's an easy place to just kind of showcase your talent, and I want to do this more often. Yo, I look the wall and see the thing called homecoming. You know I'm doing it and I'm making so something. You know I'm going sometimes, real rhymes. I never on my toes, but you know I'm doing fine. I got ambience.
A lot of people before they go on stage and perform something, it depends if you're singers, rappers, or different artists. Are you nervous when you go on stage?
Yeah, I mean, I have nerves. I'm not nervous, but I have nerves, right? So I know that I'm a little bit anxious. I'll feel it in my stomach a little bit, but I don't let it affect me, right? Because normally when people say they're nervous, they're like, oh, I'm nervous, and they start shaking, and like their whole persona gets changed, right? I wouldn't say I'm to that level just because I've trained it a lot with my classical performances, and obviously hip hop, I've done it before. But I do have nerves. Like I take it seriously. Like I understand it's like a big deal for me.
Okay, you have like tips for people when they say, okay, I want to make beats, I want to start to rap. You have like some ideas or tips you can give them on their way when they say, I want to do the same thing like you?
Yeah, no, when it comes down to it, it's super simple. It's like the whole Shia LaBeouf thing, just do it, really. It's all you really just need to put in the work and the stuff will come out. I mean, we saw it through us. We went really hard for like 6 or 7 months, like almost every day working hard, and because of that we got a label deal. I mean, it's not like we were extremely talented or extremely, I don't know, we had a bunch of equipment or we were just amazing people. No, we literally just put in the work, and because we put in the work we got the return. Yeah.
Where do you see yourself like in 10 years?
10 years, oh, that's tough.
In your 30s?
Yeah, I mean, music will be number one for me at this point in my life. I mean, that'll be my number one income. That'll be where I'm spending most of my time. But in 10 years, other than that, I mean, I don't want to say I'm going to have a family, but maybe I'll have a family. At that point, I'll be like 30 years old. I mean, I'm not a dude that like plans that far in advance.
You have like some last words you want to give to our listeners? Or
shout out Victor Polevchuk, shout out Max Grosseck Productions, shout out me. Look us out on SoundCloud, The 11 Official, dope songs. YouTube.com/The 11. We got a bunch of stuff on there. Yeah, come out to my conservatorium concerts, they're dope. What do I say? Yeah, I never know what. And do I play? Yeah, I'm going hard. Yeah, I end the say yeah, and reverse and rehearse and regurgitate. You know what? I'm rapping words that I never even say, but I never play and never know that if I never miss a day, I'm going hard. Yeah, the number one MC. I'm going new like money. You know what? I get mentee.